Hey everybody, it's me, Brooke, and today I want to do a science experiment with you. But before we get started, I want to let you know what the key idea or key concept of this video is. We will be focusing on the idea of how you can mix two or more substances and create a new substance. For instance, in this video, we will be taking one solid, one liquid, and creating a gas. If you're interested, follow along in this video and figure out how you can blow up a balloon by using a solid and a liquid. For now, let's head on over to my science lab and do this experiment together. Hello and welcome to the science lab today. We will be working with vinegar and baking soda. Our goal for today is to fill up these balloons without using our mouth for air or using any balloon air pump. So, my lovely assistant has filled all 5 of our balloons today with about 2 tablespoons of baking soda. For use, you could either use a funnel or with a partner you can stretch out the balloon and pour the baking soda into it, but making sure that you measure each time. So, for today we are going to have a control. Our control is going to be this plastic bottle that is in the middle with the pink balloon. I have filled this plastic bottle to the first indent on the bottle and used to fill up this glass bottle in this half-gallon plastic jug so that I know for certain that the amount in this plastic bottle is the same as these two to the side of it. So now I will fill this bottle to the first line so that it is the same. Now that I have a control and this plastic bottle is filled to the first line and these 2 bottles are filled to the same amount of vinegar, I have changed the experiment a little bit and I have made this bottle to the 3rd indent and this bottle to the 5th indent. So as the bottles move this way, there is more vinegar in the bottle. So the next stage is to take your balloon and to attach it to your bottle. Now for this experiment, one thing to remember is that you need bottles with a nose cone shape so that the balloon will go onto it and secure itself. So for students and anybody that wants to try this experiment, you can use any sort of bottle to see what will happen. And for the use of this, we will have plastic, glass, and a large plastic. So now I will go and connect all of the balloons to the top of the bottle. So you want the balloon to be secured around the nose cone so that when you turn the balloon over, the balloon will not fly away. So now I will do the same to each of the balloons. So now that all 5 balloons are attached to the bottle and there's vinegar inside the bottle and baking soda inside the balloon, you will take the balloons and lift them up so that the baking soda and the vinegar will mix inside of the bottle. So now I will tilt all of the balloons up and we'll see what will happen. Now, as we see with this green balloon, more vinegar inside of the bottle, so it did react more. And as we can visually represent, we see that the balloon on this side is bigger and this side is smaller. Now let's go back to our office and see why. The next thing that I would like to do in this video is connect this experiment to some next generation science standards so that teachers can take this experiment and implement it into their classrooms. Let's look at the first science standard. 5-PS1-4. Conduct an investigation to determine whether the mixing of 2 or more substances results in new substances. Next generation science standard is a perfect standard to fit with this experiment. We know from observation during the experiment that when we mixed the baking soda and the vinegar, they reacted and created a gas. This gas continued to fill up the balloon and gave us perfect results that showed us that when we mix substances, we can create a new substance. Let's look at another next generation science standard that we can use with this experiment. 5-PS1-1. Develop a model to describe that matter is made of particles too small to be seen. This is another next generation science standard that can be utilized with this experiment. We can make visual observations and have an understanding that the contents inside of the balloon were a gas, and that a gas is made up of small particles that are unseen to the eye, and that this can prove that matter is made up of particles too small to be seen. Lastly, if we were using this experiment in a different way and we wanted the balloon to launch off the bottle, we could also talk about it in other concept areas such as force, acceleration, gravity, air pressure. I could go on. This experiment can be manipulated and is very versatile in many different ways. With correct safety precautions, this experiment can easily be implemented into any classroom setting, although if the balloon is not correctly fastened onto the nose cone opening, it may fly away when the reaction occurs. So, it may be the best idea to move this experiment to the outdoors in case of a faulty experiment. Come back next week for another Inquiry Learning Station, but as for now, I'm B. Waldman and I'm signing out.